Yeah, man, we're back. We back, man, with another episode of the pregame party mix podcast, with the one and only I am DJ Chase, man. This episode is brought to you by Groove, the hottest platform to get in touch with playlist curators to review your music, not bots. Get real reviews, get real people to talk about your music, and College Radio Directory. I'm on there. The pregame party mix podcast is on there. You know this, man. Use the promo code DJ Chase and download that DJ Chase Radio mobile app on iPhone, Android. Get that DJ Chase Radio mobile app. Get that exclusive content. But enough of all that. Today we got Fire. Fire. This one is special to me. Talented singer, songwriter. She's just fire. Tallahassee, Florida's own Adrianna Freeman in the building. What's going on, mama?
What's up, everybody? What's up? I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Very
For sure, for
happy.
sure. I love it. I love it. I love the energy. I love the vibe. Pleasure, pleasure. It's first and foremost, you are talented. I want to give you a proper introduction. I want to give you your
Oh, thank
props.
you.
Like I'm a huge fan. I've been following you for a
Oh,
little bit, so thank you for coming on the platform.
absolutely. Thank you for having me.
For sure, for sure. And I want to get into your background a little bit. So with that being said, a lot of people that they don't talk about their background enough and what shapes them. And a lot of artists they just go on social media, but you don't know too much about them. But then you have to
Mhm.
grow with them. So I want artists to feel like they can tell their story in their own words and tell their own narrative. So you're originally from Tallahassee, Florida, correct?
I am. I am.
Got you, got you. And how was it growing up in Tallahassee, Florida, for you?
Um, well, let's just say it was a little different. My childhood was not, it was atypical, is how I
Mm,
will describe it. And that's because my grandparents were former sharecroppers.
mm,
And we lived in like a little community of
mm,
land that had been passed down from the generations to through the family. So my neighbors were my grandparents, my uncles, my
mm,
cousins. Like we all just grew up in this little community. We were a farming family.
mm,
So I spent a lot of days out helping my grandparents, pick fruits and vegetables, set up the fruit market,
mm.
things of that nature. Mostly our summer jobs were helping grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
Anytime I pass by like a green field, my body just aches. Like I'm just like, oh gosh.
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
for
those
sure.
days. I do remember those days. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I grew up with family as my community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you, got you. That's what's up, man. And I seen that you started singing in the church. Like, what age? It's a two-part question, right? So, at what
Mhm.
age did you start singing, and at what age did you realize, you know what, I want to do this for real? Like, as an adult, like I want to be a professional singer songwriter.
Absolutely. So my granddaddy wanted to be a country music singer, but that wasn't
Mm.
going to happen for him at that time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then my father also, I actually tried for a little bit, but mama got pregnant with me. And
Yeah,
so he had to figure out how I'm
yeah.
going to take care of a family now. He
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do it off of just dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So they instilled in me the love of country music. So I actually started performing when I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
Really. And so I would sing in front of my grandparents' fruit stand, which is still there today. There's a little fruit market, a
Mm-hmm.
little general country store out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I got my start with singing in front
Mm-hmm.
of people that would come up and, shop. And I'd be sitting there strumming my little guitar and singing along. So I
Yeah.
didn't really it didn't really hit me that I really wanted to do this until my teenage years, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing it, partly because my father was pushing me out there and kind of
Mm-hmm.
making me do it.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, it got to a point where it started to be a little embarrassing for me at school and stuff because,
Mm-hmm.
people would go out there like, I saw you singing country music
Oh
at the
wow.
flea market. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Try to
Yeah.
get clowned about it.
Yeah.
And I started to the point I was like, well, Dad, I don't really want to sing and everybody's making fun of me. And
Yeah.
so he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take you to a place where, you'll really have to learn how to sing and really
Mm-hmm.
have to hone in your talent. So he started taking me to the local honky tonks and bars. And honey, let me
Yeah.
tell you, we were the only people in there, if you know what I'm
I know.
saying.
I know what you
It was
mean.
just me and Dad.
Yeah. Well,
That was
we gonna talk about race and things in country music. We gonna get into that. So with that being said, and so basically, your inspiration was just like you just wanted to do it. You just fell in love with music, correct?
absolutely, absolutely. I was
Yeah.
on a missionary trip. I
Mm.
went. I think it was. Yeah, I was in Russia where
Oh
I
wow.
was, and this little girl. We were going around doing like dramas and singing and
Mm.
stuff. And so I was singing a song, and I'm sure she couldn't really understand me because I was singing in English,
Mm.
and I didn't speak Russian, and I don't believe she spoke English either.
Mm.
So anyway. I was singing, and her mom, we got ready to leave to get on the bus to leave, and her mom came running to the translator and was like, I want to talk to her. Can you please get her? And so the lady came over to me, and so this little girl handed me this little toy. It was like
Mm.
a little rubber toy,
Yeah.
and she said that she wanted to give that to me because my voice was like an angel,
Oh
and
wow.
she wanted to give me a gift. So she
Mm.
gave me her only toy. She was like, this is her favorite toy.
Mm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. So, that really moved my heart. And I
Yeah.
started to feel like maybe there was something to my voice, and maybe I was supposed to do something with it. So
Mm.
that's when the change really started, where I
Mm.
was like, okay, Dad, all right, okay, let's
I'm gonna
do
do
it.
this.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
no, I feel you. And I do want to ask this. This is a crazy question, kind of. I didn't really touch on it too much. So your grandparents or your father was a sharecropper too.
So my grandparents
Yeah,
were former sharecroppers. They
that's
actually
crazy.
were.
That's
And
crazy. Yeah.
so yeah, yeah. I mean, but hey, this is
Mm.
back in the day. We
Yeah.
live in the South. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So my dad worked on the same land
Yeah. Mm.
that my grandparents had. So
Mm.
basically, what would happen is we also shared
Mm.
land with another farm that was out there,
Mm.
and so in turn they would work their land as well as ours, and then we
Mm.
would always be able to share in the crop. And
Mm.
that's how it worked. And so
Wow.
my
Okay.
grandparents, that's what they did for many, many,
Yeah.
many years.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, being a country artist, like you got to tell your story. It has to be authentic with country songwriting. And
Absolutely.
So with that being said, do you draw inspirations from that deep South roots? Like, do you say, you know what, I want to like that lifestyle and just seeing that? I wouldn't say struggle, but I guess that struggle from the deep
Mhm.
South like that. Do you feel like you incorporate a lot of that into your music?
Absolutely,
Mm,
absolutely. Because that's one thing, you hit on something that's really important.
mm,
People need to understand that country music has to come from the heart. It's
yeah.
authentic. It's almost like that with hip hop, where hip
Mm,
hop is a certain way of life.
mm,
That's how country is. Country
yeah.
is a certain way of life. So in
Mm,
order to sing it and write music authentically,
mm,
you have to be authentically grown up in it.
mm,
It has
yeah.
to be a part
Yeah.
of who you are, or
Mm,
else it just won't come across.
got you. And who did you listen to? And that's a perfect segue. And who did you listen to growing up?
Okay, so some of my favorite people that I
Mm,
listen to, Patty Loveless, all time favorite. I mean,
all
that
right.
voice, that woman's voice is something else. We
Okay.
call her the Mountain Soul.
Yeah.
I also listen to Emily Lewis.
Mm,
I listen to Dolly Parton. Obviously, everybody
yeah.
listens to her. She was everywhere. And then Reba McEntire.
All right,
There
hold on.
is,
That's actually one of my questions. I wanted you leading
yeah,
right into it. All right, who you
yeah.
got? Who you got? Reba or Dolly? Who you got?
Oh man, that's too hard. And I'll take them both. I'll take them both. But let me tell you something. Reba will show you how to get things done, and
Yeah.
Dolly was the one who put out the plan for all of us to follow to get things done. So I need
All
both
right.
of them in my
All right.
corner.
So I got one more for you. I got a little
Sure.
game. I played a game. So I got one more for you. All right.
Okay.
Chevy, Ford, or Dodge? What you got?
Oh man.
Uh
Okay.
huh.
So
Uh
I'm
huh.
gonna have to be honest about this. My first car that I bought when I made some money in music, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was a Chevy Trailblazer.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a Chevy girl.
I'm Chevy all day. I'm Chevy. I'm Chevy. I ride Chevy. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. And I appreciate that answer. And with that being said, so your parents, I mean, I know you said that your dad took you to talent shows and things like that, but there's a difference. Doing it when you're a child is one thing, but doing it as
Mhm.
an adult is another. So when was your father, your parents supportive when you chose to do music as an adult? Were they really supportive?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, this was this man's plan. Y'all don't.
Yeah,
They call him Big Ed.
yeah,
Listen, my dad was like, my
yeah,
daughter is going to be a country music artist. That's
yeah.
all that's going to happen. So that was his plan. I mean, he was all for it. He's actually been one of my biggest supporters
Mm,
throughout all of this.
that's what's
He and
up.
I do stuff together. I mean, I don't like I tell people, they're like, "Oh, we want to work with you." I said, "Well, the show ain't up to me. You're gonna have to go see what he says."
Nah,
But
that's
that's
what's
a
up.
good thing, right? You got to keep your
Yeah.
people in your corner, because in this business, man, let me tell you,
Oh
people
yeah.
will chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah, and that's one thing. And I'm so glad you said that because, like I said, my show is dedicated to music education. It's dedicated to creatives, and it's something I want to ask you as well too. I see
Sure.
that you perform, you really do your thing performing, but some artists are introverts. Excuse me. So, do you like the stage better or do you like performing better? Because country artists, you got to perform, you got to have the performance up. But do you like the stage
Absolutely.
better or you like the studio better?
Okay, so I prefer it. It just depends on the state. So if I'm in that creative mindset,
Mm-hmm.
than the studio. That's all that matters. The
Mm-hmm.
songs, whatever, that's all that matters in that moment. But
Mm-hmm.
I do also love the performance aspect of it. And that's because you
Mm-hmm.
get to feel the energy
Mm-hmm.
of everything that you put into that music, everything you put into that song. And you're up on stage and people are cheering for you and clapping and they even know the song now and they're
Yeah.
singing the words. Like
Yeah.
that is the most amazing feeling on this earth. And I really, really think that that's one thing about artists that we love. We love
Mm.
to feel that love from our audience. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would have to give it performing.
Got you, got you. And I was reading, just doing my little homework. I see that you like so you one of your, I guess I would consider you a big, and I quote, big break. When you met Teddy Gentry of the group Alabama. How did that come about?
Oh Lord. Okay. So at that time I was in Nashville. We'd been there for 10 years and we had been
Mm.
shopping around for a deal, playing all the honky tonks, playing for
Yeah, I'm actually
tips.
about that too. I'm actually about
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
I'm actually about that
So
too.
yeah, like yes, please
Yeah,
bring them on.
yeah.
So I was on my way home, and the person I was working with, who was like my agent at the time, who was helping me shop,
Mm,
he was like, "I got a guy who wants to meet you," and I was like,
mm.
"Oh man, I don't know." And he was like, "No, no, no, no,
Yeah.
you want to meet." Like, mind you, we'd been meeting people all day, so I
Mm.
was pretty tired, and so he was like, he's gonna come by your hotel and pick you up," and I was like, "What? Who are you
Oh
sending
wow.
over here?" Well,
Yeah.
Mama was with me because I don't go nowhere without my covering now. I have my parents with me.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
he shows up and I'm just like, because I'm a country fan. I
Mm.
know who this person is. I grew up listening to his music. Play me some
Yeah.
mountain music, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a hurry to get things done. Like I know these songs, and
Yeah.
so it was almost. It was. I was starstruck. I didn't know what to do. I was like, why does he want to talk to me? And so he was just really impressed with my songwriting ability
Mm.
in my sound. And he
Mm.
gave me some of the highest praise I think anybody could ever give a female country artist.
Wow.
He said, when I close my eyes and I listen to you,
Yeah.
you remind me of Tammy Wynette.
Mm.
And I was like, you talking about the Stand By Your Man, Timmy Wynette?
Yeah,
He was like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It don't
that's
get
what
no
I'm
bigger than
talking
that. It don't
about.
get no. That's the biggest
No,
damn
it
country song
don't.
ever.
That's royalty in country
Yeah,
music. So
yeah,
yeah, he wanted to work together and that's how that whole thing started. But it started with
yeah,
a phone call and
yeah,
me being like, I don't know. And then when you finally meet him, I was like, holy crap.
yeah. For sure, for sure. Now you told. Let's talk about this Nashville journey, right? So I'm a New York boy. I'm from New York. I'm a New York. I'm a city boy, right? But
Okay.
now here I'm in South. I'm in Charlotte, and I actually want to make a trip to Nashville. I haven't been to Nashville yet. So with that being said, right, and I know Nashville is the mecca. You know what I'm saying? The MLC's out there. All the big, all the that's where it's at. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's where it's at.
So with that being said, do you feel like what? With all the technology out that's out there now, not I wouldn't say AI, I can say AI, the technology, social media, reaching out to podcasters like myself, things, the marketing, email marketing, things like that. Do you feel like that country music still has to be certified in Nashville to be considered certified in country music?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
And
okay,
that's one thing because like country music, like I
mm,
said, it is ingrained in you. You grow
mm,
up with it, but you
yeah,
also have to familiarize yourself
mm,
with what's going on in Nashville, the
mm,
people that are there, the players in town,
mm,
things of that. So I do feel like an artist eventually you can do stuff online all day and
mm,
everything, but if you want to be accepted in the country music community,
mm,
you got to go and hang out a bit. You got
mm,
to go and do
mm,
some stuff. You got to go to
mm,
some songwriters nights. You have to,
mm,
just get involved in that community.
mm.
And so by that, then you become, I guess, quote unquote, what they like to call it, certified in country music.
Yeah,
But it takes a long time. It takes a long time. Like people think that you're
mm,
gonna go there and
mm,
I'm the next best thing and
yep,
child please.
yeah.
Listen,
It takes a long
some
time. Yeah. Same with
some
me with
people
New York.
stay away.
Everybody say that with New York. I'm like, bro, you cannot just come to New York and just get a record deal. It does not work
Yeah,
like that.
no,
It
no.
does not work like that. You know what I'm saying? And do you feel like what you want to be? I know, like I said, I know you've been working and doing your thing. Do you feel like what that pressure of getting a publishing deal in Nashville, or do you feel like the pressure of like, what, I could just do it myself? Do you want to stay independent?
Well, so yes, I actually would like to partner with
Mm-hmm.
a major label.
Mm.
I want to keep my own creativity. I don't like being told what to write about or how to
Yeah.
sing it. Like
Yeah.
that will make
Yeah.
me mad as fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like to keep my creative side, but I
Yeah.
do understand that you've got to partner with people with resources, and
Mm.
these labels have the resources.
Yes, they do.
So an independent artist has to. I understand, I get it, because it's kind of like making a deal with the devil. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
stay independent,
Yeah.
but you do have to side and understand that there is a whole business side to this
Mm.
that they have pretty much on lock.
Yeah.
So you can try,
Yeah.
but you ain't getting nowhere unless you're going through them. That's just
Yeah.
the way it works.
Yeah.
And so I if it works that way in New York, same is for Nashville.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. I like that answer. Thank you for that. And with that being said, do you feel okay? So I know you said that you don't like being told what to do, but are you open to have songs written for you, or like not? I wouldn't say collab because you do collab, but are you open to songs that would be written for you?
So here's my deal. This is what I've always lived by, and this came from
Mm,
Miss Reba McIntyre, and she said it best. So, but I'm gonna try. So here's the deal. Everything that an artist does isn't always good. Now, we
mm,
might think it's good, but it isn't
yeah,
always good.
yeah, yeah.
And so once in a while there comes around a song that you had nothing to do with, but
Mm,
that song is just amazing. It feels like it was written specifically for you.
yeah.
And so if your song is better than mine, we cutting your song. That's the way it goes.
For
So
sure, for
yeah, I'm
sure.
open to it.
Yeah,
Hallelujah. Please send me some music. I can't promise I'm gonna cut
yeah,
everybody's stuff because I'm
yeah,
picky. I'm
yeah,
very
yeah,
picky. Like, you
yeah,
gotta beat my song. See, that's
yeah,
how it works. You
yeah.
gotta be better than mine.
Yeah, I feel. I'm just. It's funny because I'm the same way. Like even people like ask me to DJ, and I'm like, I don't like to listen to other DJs. It's only like maybe like two DJs that I listen to besides myself, and I don't like listening to it. Like people be like, "Oh, you listen?" I'm like, I didn't listen to this. I don't listen to this person. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Hey, listen, hey,
I'm
we're
the same way.
artists.
Yeah, yeah,
We
for
like what we
sure.
like.
Yeah, yeah. And with that being said, now we're gonna get into the tough questions, right? So, do you feel like you've had barriers being a black country back? You know what? I'm gonna say a black woman country artist.
Yes, I'm not even going to sit here and try to
Mm,
act like that did not happen to me. It
yeah,
did.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, it almost broke me
Mm,
in that town. So
mm,
like I said, I had been there for 10 years.
mm.
Just kept hitting my head up against things, and
In Nashville,
just
In Nashville, you
in
talking about?
Nashville.
In
Yeah.
Nashville? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
And so it just felt like there was like
mm,
this glass ceiling
mm,
there that you could see the top,
mm.
but you weren't going to be able to break through it.
Wow.
And it got to the point, matter of fact, my dad and I were so frustrated,
Mm,
like I was just tired of it. I was so
mm.
tired of it. And just
Wow.
having to take it,
As
and
talent, not to cut you off, as talented
yeah,
as you are, you felt that way, huh?
absolutely. I
Wow.
mean, yeah, yeah, it,
Wow.
it
Okay.
came now. So I remember when it finally hit me that, this may not happen for you.
Mm,
I was driving back from Nashville, and we had spent like our last dime in
mm,
Nashville getting there, trying to put out records, trying to, get to the next level. And so we just called it quits, and we were driving home, and I wrote a song because it was hurting me so bad. So I couldn't say in
mm,
the words exactly how I felt because I wanted people to hear it
mm,
and someone to listen to it. So I wrote it about a relationship, but the
mm,
relationship was between me and Nashville. And I realized, unfortunately, even with people like Teddy Gentry behind me, Cracker Barrel behind me, we had
mm,
4 labels on the hook at one time. Like all of that, it all came down to, well, we don't know how people will react to her. And I said, well, I can tell you how they're gonna react to me. How do you
mm,
think I got to you?
mm,
They love what I do. I said, it's not the fans. It was
mm,
never the fans,
mm,
but it was always those gatekeepers that were like,
mm,
I don't know about this. I don't know how this is gonna go. Now, first of all, let me
mm,
explain something. It's very hard for any artist to make it in Nashville. It
mm,
don't matter what you look like, where you come from.
mm,
Now you add being a woman on top of that. That makes it very hard too, because historically it was almost like, well, men are the better, they're the crowd drawers. Everybody wants to go and see the male artist, and so the girls, we were just sprinkled in here and
mm.
there,
Yeah.
as pretty treatments or whatever. But
Mm,
for women to be taken seriously, I mean, you had to be a force of nature, like Dolly, like
mm,
Reba,
mm,
people like that. And so it just I we saw it, and one record exec was very, he's our friend to this day.
Mm,
And he said, he just looked at us, he said, listen, um I'm going to tell you this because nobody else is going to tell you
mm,
this. And he was like, but he was like, right now, it's just not going to happen. And I
mm,
was like, what do you mean? You know? And so
mm,
I thought that I needed to sing harder. I needed to, learn how to play better. Let me write a better song. Let me
mm,
perform more. Let me,
mm,
he was like, as good as you are,
mm,
it's not going to happen. So he gave me some good advice. He said, why don't you go overseas
mm,
and then release your music there, build up your following, build up your fan base. And he said, eventually they won't be able to
mm,
keep you out because you'll
mm,
already have this whole fan
mm.
base coming with you.
Yeah.
And, so that was the most disheartening thing,
Mm,
because to be told that you can't do something because there's something that you're not doing right,
mm,
that you can change, that's one thing. You can figure that out, right?
mm,
But to be told it's not going to happen because
mm,
of the package
mm,
it comes in. Well, that's something I couldn't change. I
mm,
was like, well, I can't
mm.
change who I am. And
Yeah.
I'm a proud Black woman. And I'm sorry if you don't like it, it bothers
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
whatever,
So
that kind of thing.
you know what I'm about to ask you, right? So the next question
Yeah.
is, so how do you feel about the artists like Shabuzi and Beyonce kind of, I don't want to say what I want to say, but I'm gonna say the next question. But with that being said, how do you
Wait a
feel like
minute. You've been
artists?
asking me all the questions. Now you asked yourself some uncomfortable
No, no,
questions.
no, no, no. I
You've been
got the
asking
question.
me
No, no,
all the
I'm gonna
questions.
say after. I want to kind of save it. So with that being
I
said,
got you.
do you feel like, okay? Simply put, do you feel like they're exploiting country music because R&B and hip hop is not selling? So you think that are they authentic, or you think they just are exploiting country music?
No, so that's another thing, is that there seems to be this idea
Yeah.
that country music is not Black people, that we're not a
We
part
well,
of
we
it.
created it for sure.
Like,
We created it. Yeah, we created
okay,
it.
you just took.
Yeah.
So the thing is that it is formulated from roots music. And where did you get
Mm,
roots music from? You got it from in the field. That's where
mm,
it comes from.
yeah.
So the thing is we made our contributions to country music just as much as everybody else has, and we
Mm,
have earned our place at the table.
yeah.
And so to see other artists, try to bring more awareness to
Mm,
Black people, Black culture, and that Black people, some of us
mm,
do really love country music.
yeah. Yeah. I'm a big
So,
fan. So
yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
that's my thing, is like, when people, it's like sometimes people want to say, well, it's this or it's that or it's this or it's that. No, first of all, country
Mm,
music is for everybody. So
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
For sure.
first story. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
So then you have people who have this super, like Beyonce and her platform,
Mm,
you know, bringing more awareness to country music. That means opening up a new fan base that may have never listened to country before
mm,
because they were unaware of some of the artists that were there that are authentically good,
mm,
and maybe they can find and learn something new. So
mm,
I think that what they're doing is
mm,
actually bringing more awareness, and then
mm,
also bringing awareness to the topic, the question, right? Like,
mm,
why aren't there more Black women in country music? What's going
mm.
on here,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. For
so
sure.
I think that what they did was bring it to a bigger fan base, and they're
Mm,
actually making country music a bigger format
mm,
just by her presence being
mm.
there. You
Got
know
you.
how many
And do you
people
feel?
listen to it
Oh, I
because
know.
of,
Oh, I know.
yeah.
I know. I understand. I see it. And do you feel like, you know what? As far as that, do you feel like, you know what, that's gonna actually help you? And the reason I'm asking like that, right, is because
Mhm.
some artists have like not unrealistic expectations, but expect too many expectations from the music business. Do you feel
Yeah.
like now that, like I said, Shabuzi blown up, the Beyonce is going on the Cowboy Carter tour? Do you feel like,
Mhm.
you know what, that's gonna help you maybe not get or to the deal or the publishing deal or the publishing side of Nashville, but that's gonna help you, like I said, get on just doing it, getting out there.
I do think it brought more awareness,
Mm,
and like, matter of fact, a lot of some of the people that are on her album
mm,
were people that kicked around Nashville for years too, trying to
mm,
make it through that whole thing.
mm,
And so I do think that it is going to help the
mm,
platform and
yeah.
absolutely help the cause.
Mm,
But we'll have to see. We'll have to
mm,
see how it goes. We'll
mm,
see, like, the Grammys are coming on tonight. I'm gonna
mm,
be watching that because I want
yeah.
to see. I want to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that people like
Mm,
her, Shabuzi, some of the other folks that were on the album, I
mm,
think that it is bringing more awareness to Black country artists.
mm,
And if anything, I think that that's the best thing
mm,
about the whole thing. Like
Mm,
that
mm,
that gives me hope. Absolutely. That you know what, now that there's this audience paying attention, now I got
mm,
my own community
mm,
behind me. Matter
mm,
of fact, I never even saw myself being on like an R&B or hip hop platform at all,
mm.
because I was like, I'm country music,
Yeah,
I don't know. But
yeah.
because of the synergy thing that's
Mm.
happened, that's why you and I are talking right now.
Exactly, and
Like we
people
would have
think,
never
yeah,
known each
and the
other.
same thing. Like even people think I'm a hip hop DJ. I'm like, bro, I ride Chevys and I wear Real Tree and Mosey, bro. I'm like, I'm not like just. I don't know. I'm like, I went to Catholic school. I'm like, I'm not no gangster. Like I'm
Yeah,
not none of
no.
that. Like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And
I'm a
people, I'm
country
like,
girl.
bro, like I go to the gun range. I'll be chilling. Like I'm from New York, but I'm like, I'm not none of that. Like so it's
Yeah, no,
funny.
I hear you.
Nah,
I
but
hear you.
for sure, and I appreciate that. And excuse me. With that being said, before we get into talking about that music of yours,
Yes.
you was on the cover of Rolling Stone Canada. How was that
Oh,
experience?
oh Lord, I'm still not over that. I'm still not
Yeah,
over
yeah,
that. Oh gosh, when I got an email with a approval, right?
yeah,
Um, I about fell over. I was like, holy crap. You know,
yeah.
Rolling Stone. They
Yeah.
want to talk about little old me. Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
you
I'm so
got it, cause you
excited.
listen. You know what? And I'll tell you this, it just like sometimes people feel I've quit music and DJing so many times. Like I said, I'm a big black man, and you know what I'm saying. And people be like, oh, you a thug, you this, you that. Oh, you know what I'm saying, all types of crazy shit. So you know, trust me, I think in time people will just see, and then, like I said, my platform is freaking huge. So people are gonna see you and see, okay, the story is what we're gonna know about her. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna know about Miss Freeman. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So with that being said, I'm very congratulations on that cover to you. I just want to
Thank
tell you that
you. Thank you.
congratulations.
I was so happy. Like that
All
was
right.
like a highlight.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Now, before we talk about some music, right? I want to ask
Mhm.
you, Tennessee whiskey or Irish whiskey? What you got?
All right. I got Tennessee whiskey.
All right,
I got ten-
bourbon whiskey or Tennessee whiskey? What you got?
I still got my Tennessee whiskey.
All right, let's got it. What's your favorite one?
I do like what is it? Gosh, what is it called? Johnny, it's not Johnny Walker. Jack Daniels, that's
Yeah.
what it's called. That's what it's called. It's like the black label. Now, in my younger days, I might shoot a little bit of that stuff, but now I
Yeah.
done got a little more refined now. So
You
drink my
peaceful
little
now? You
strawberry
peaceful
wine.
now? Nah, for
No,
sure,
but
for sure.
if it's been a hard day, I might break it out. I might break out that bottle.
For sure, for sure. Now let's talk about it. I ran out of whiskey yesterday with Mark Hawkins, the big
Yes.
one, the big video that almost 300,000 views on YouTube, killing it. The acoustic version is out. How did that record come about?
Oh Lord. Just sheer frustration. That's what it was. I
Yeah,
mean, I was just so frustrated with what things that were going on in our country that are going on in our country.
yeah,
And I was like, that's what country music is about. Three chords and the truth. And so
hmm,
I wanted to write a song that was exactly three chords
yeah.
in the truth, and so I did. And I got a lot of flack from that song.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't understand it really,
Hmm.
because people are like, she's a sellout, what's she doing with him? And I'm just like, a sellout because I'm singing with a white
Oh,
male?
oh,
No,
that's
no,
crazy.
no, no.
Well,
I'm like,
listen,
I'm
take
a
it from
country
me.
music
Listen,
artist.
I'm a G. You ain't no damn seller to nothing. Trust me, you ain't
Thank you.
selling out nothing. Like
I
you ain't no
appreciate it.
sellout. Get your
No,
paper.
yeah, I was like, it was like, what do you mean by everybody's woke, but ain't nobody awake? And I said, I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
You're the person who's so damn awoke that you can't see the forest for the trees. I was
Mm,
like, that's what I'm talking about. When things are happening that are so stupid, they don't make no doggone sense.
mm,
That's what I'm talking about. And
yeah,
they were like, well, you're picking side. I never picked a side. Who said I picked anybody's side? I said, the side that I picked was the side of American people.
for sure,
Me.
for
I'm
sure.
struggling. These taxes is crazy.
Huh.
The rent prices is, I
Ah,
mean, triple.
woo.
Like
Let's
the
get it.
food, like gas. Like, what's going
Everything.
on,
Yeah, it's
man?
ridiculous. Yeah,
What's
yeah,
going on? And then
yeah,
you have the nerve to be sending money over here, sending money over there. Man,
yeah.
help some of us. Help
And that's
us,
the
because
thing.
we're
And
the
that's
ones who need it.
and that's the thing too. And I tell people all the time, like it's not about black or white. It's about American values. And no other place sees themselves as black or white anywhere else on the world. I
Anywhere
travel a lot.
else.
No, they see if you're
Anywhere
Russian, you're
else.
Russian. If you Colombian, you Colombian. It ain't got
Right.
nothing to do with that. And we here. You know what I'm saying? We can't change it. We here. You know what I'm saying? We speak
Right.
English. We're American. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes. I
I totally
agree.
understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you, and I'm so glad that
Mm,
you understood the song as well, because
yeah.
that's truly what it was about. It was like,
Mm,
man, all this. I said, don't you understand? They want us to be this and
separate.
that, or here
Yep.
and there, or them and us,
Mm,
and that's because if we ever really started working together, we would, man, listen, it would
mm.
be beautiful. But they
Yeah.
don't
What?
want us to. They
Yeah.
don't want us to work
Yeah.
together,
Because you
and
too busy fighting, you ain't gonna never work together. You
mm,
fighting over
yes.
music for what somebody look like. What somebody. I'm like, what does that have anything to do with anything? Like, what's in somebody's mind? What somebody could bring to the table? You know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm,
So that's what that song was. It was just out of sheer frustration,
mm,
and I just wanted to get some stuff off my chest.
mm,
And so me and Mark sat down, and he's been my longtime bandmate. We've been playing
mm.
together for years.
That's what's up.
And so
He killed it.
he
He did his thing. He killed it.
he was nervous though. He was like, I don't want to sing. I don't want to
Uh,
sing. And I was like, I
yeah.
need you to sing this part. Because I wanted to do something like a Sheryl Crow and
mm,
Kid Rock, a song called Picture. It's an
mm,
older country song, but it was very cool. And I thought that that vibe would be nice. And that's why we
mm.
did it.
Got you, got you. And your first single, so we're gonna talk about Just a Girl as well too.
Yes.
So Just a Girl, I see was adopted as a theme song of the National Network for Youth in Washington D.C., which is a big accomplishment, Miss Freeman.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's a
Yes.
big accomplishment. So how did that record come about?
So actually that was a record I didn't write.
Mm,
That was
okay.
one where the song was just so good and
Yeah.
it moved me
Yeah.
that I just wanted to sing the song. And
Mm,
so that one really, really, really like touched deep
mm,
down inside.
mm,
And anything I try to do musically, I always want to put a positive message out in the world
mm,
about it. Now, the song may be about tragedy, the song may be about something that we don't want to talk about, but I want to impact the world in that way. So we invoke change.
mm,
And so that's what I wanted to do with Just a Girl, and it resonated
mm.
with them, and they asked me to come and sing the song
Yeah.
in Washington, and I mean it was a wonderful time. It really
Mm,
was, and I was just so glad
yeah.
that I got to be a part of that.
Nah, like listen, you are doing it. If you ever feel some sort of way, take it from me. I used to work at Sirius XM, right? And I
Mhm.
won't say the person's name because he probably is a big, he's a big person in the music business. And he literally looked me in my face and told me, now, mind you, I had years of college experience and I was young. I was like homeless and I've come a long way. I've been homeless
I
and
hear
everything.
you.
So he told me, no, I can't. I just wanted a job. I ain't even asked the DJ. I just wanted a job. And he was like, but we can't hire you. So I'm like, why you can't hire me? And I'll cry like a baby. I'm like, bro, like, you knew I wanted this more than anybody. Like, I'm in school, like,
Mhm.
and but I take it like people like us and artists like us and creatives like us, we just have to keep pushing because it's like you never know who's watching, and that's the point of the
Absolutely.
thing. And that's why I said like with you, like you never know who's watching you. So if you ever feel any like self doubt or insecurity, do not because you are fire, like you are dope.
Thank
So
you.
you know
Thank
what
you.
I'm
I really
saying.
appreciate it.
And the reason I'm saying that is because the song "The Price," right?
Oh gosh, yes.
I had to talk about that. So I'm like, all right. So I'm listening. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, some gangster music, some blues in there. You riding the rhythms. I'm like, okay, okay.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, the price. So how did that record come about?
Oh man. Okay. So this one was probably the hardest song I've ever attempted in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
I have rewritten this song three, maybe four times,
I love that
honestly,
record. I
before
love it. I love it. That joint
yeah,
is
before I
hard.
got it
That
right.
joint's
But
hard. Yeah,
I was persistent.
yeah,
I was like, there's something in this song. There's
yeah,
something to this country and blues thing. I
yeah,
mean, I kept trying to get it right. And
yeah.
so as artists, even though I don't like to be told what to do creativity
Mm,
wise, you have to know your limits.
mm,
And so I had reached my musical ability to
mm,
produce the song. I had reached that limit, and the song just wasn't coming together because
mm,
it was just up there. So we went to Nashville, and I talked to my producer Bill McDermott,
mm.
fabulous guy,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Okay, so what are you trying to do?" And I was like, "Okay, I want you to listen to this thing, and then I want you to listen to
yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and then I want you to make this song."
Mm.
And so he started laughing. He was like, "Girl, okay."
Yeah.
All right, all right,
Yeah.
all right. So we worked on it. The musicians, it
Mm.
was funny. We the music now Nashville musicians, we
Yeah.
cut the song twice because the first time they cut the song, I was like, y'all, it ain't moving, it ain't
Yeah.
grooving. It's
Yeah.
not there. They looking at me like
Yeah.
I'm just stone crazy at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so my mom and my sister were sitting there and they looking over at me, and I was like, I could tell that they wasn't happy with it either, because
Yeah.
we looking for that, we looking for something in that song, we
Yeah.
looking for that thing.
Yeah.
And so I said, guys, this is starting to sound like something else. And I said, what
Mm.
I need you guys to do is to stop fighting where the blues takes over country or country's taking over the blues. I just need you guys to play the same, play the
Yeah.
both at the same time.
So you wrote
That's
the
what I
music
need you
too?
to do.
You wrote the music too, or you just wrote the lyrics?
No, I wrote the music too. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Woo.
No,
All
no, no,
right.
no,
Woo.
no, no.
Okay. Okay.
When I come with an idea, I got it.
Woo. All
But the
right.
thing is musically, you may not know how to get there to,
Yeah.
get like everything right. And then so that's why you need a producer, plus someone who'll listen to you. And Bill is
Mm.
really good about that. He was like, he listened to me. He was like, okay, I think I know what you need here. And so they started playing, and that guy hit that down, down. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so we got it. We got
Yeah.
it. So my mom and sister were over there bopping. I said, y'all got the
Yeah.
black people dancing. That's what I
Yeah. That record is hard. I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. Okay. I get it. She gets it.
Yo, we got it. I mean, matter of
Yeah.
fact, the one of the guitarists, he stopped. He said, hold on, I'll be right back." So he
Yeah.
ran and grabbed this dusty, crazy looking guitar, and everybody started laughing. They're like, "Oh, he got to put on the costume now."
Yeah.
But he was like, "No, no, it's the sound. I gotta get
Yeah.
that. This the sound that needs it."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody got involved with it. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Nah, that
It was a
record.
hard project.
Listen, that's your. If you take my advice, just shoot a video for that or something and do your thing. That
Yes,
that that record needs a video for that. That record is
it does
fire.
have a video.
I didn't see it.
It
I was looking
does.
on YouTube. Where's the video to? I was
Oh
trying to look
no, you
for it.
gotta go. Yeah, look.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, it has a video. Go, Adrianna Freeman
Let me look
official.
at that. Well, I put it. I put it. Let me see. I look at it. I look at it in a few. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So with that being said, so let me ask you this question, right? So you got the videos, you got the promo, you got the shows,
Yes.
right? And with
Yes.
that being said, now you got to. I've been following you on social media for a couple, for like about a month now. And with that
Thank
being
you.
said, you have something that's very unique to your social media as well too. How important is it to like create a more personable, like interpersonal, intimate connection with your fans on social media? How important is that?
I think it's extremely important. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you. I was very uncomfortable with social media. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I quit music, I quit social media. I didn't do anything for 10 years.
Damn.
And so I got back to it,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Okay, you got to come out, you got to do all these videos." And so I was like, "Man, I don't want to do all it." Like, no, like,
Yeah.
here's the music. Like, I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
And so at first when I tried it, I was completely uncomfortable, and people saw that. They were like, "Okay, she really hates this." And it
Yeah.
wasn't until one of my fans, because country music fans can be some of the most loyal and the truthful, they
Yeah.
will tell you what they think. And one
Yeah.
was like, just be yourself. Don't
Yeah.
don't try to be what you think we want you to be.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. And I'm like, well, thank you, and
Yeah.
thank you. So I started doing that. I started
Yeah.
to become authentic and just tell them when I'm having a bad day. Tell them what I'm
Yeah.
doing. Tell them that I don't know what I'm doing in social media, and I have to
Yeah.
get my son to help me because I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And that's what started resonating with people. Because when I started I'd had
Yeah.
my account for 10 years. I had
Yeah.
16 followers about a year and a half ago. 16.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so I've been
Yeah.
able to grow it
Yeah.
organically
Yeah.
that way, by being authentic.
There you go. And I'm looking at the price video right now behind the scenes. This joint is crazy. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now saying, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I gotta put this, yeah, because this is the record I'm gonna put on my radio station. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, oh, okay,
Exactly.
you win it, you
Yes.
win it, yeah, you win it. Because you know what it was? I thought it was a song art. So the way the video came on, I didn't click it. So I'm thinking it's a song art. So
No,
I'm
no.
looking at it now. Yeah, I'm gonna deep dive into it.
Yes, please do. Please
Yeah, yeah, I'm
do.
gonna deep
'Cause
dive
I want to
into
hear
it for
what you
sure.
think about
Yeah, yeah,
it.
we definitely gonna talk. We gonna talk more after this. And with that
Yeah.
being said, before we get out of here too, okay, so I gotta ask this question: is there a
Sure.
full album coming out this year?
Oh God, I'm hoping, and that's why I need more people like you and more
Yeah.
fans, because I want to release a full album, but I'm an independent artist, and
Mm.
so it takes a lot of time, money, and effort
Yeah. Yeah.
to produce great music first and
Yeah.
foremost, and then
Mm-hmm.
you got to promote the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it all takes a lot. So I am hoping
Yeah.
that we'll get that partnership. I
Yeah.
think I'm getting close to it,
Yeah.
and that something will be out. I already have the album
Uh,
named. It's going to be called Lessons I've Learned, and each
mm,
song
fire
on
name.
the album is going to be about
Yeah.
a lesson that either I learned, was
Uh,
inspired by, or somebody else learned and I wrote about it.
for sure, for sure. And now, is there a tour coming up?
Oh Lord. So I'm hoping. I'm
Okay.
hoping, I'm hoping, I'm
Yes,
hoping.
ma'am.
So we have a couple of talks happening. So we're looking at the summer maybe.
All
So
right.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I like I said, literally, I just got back into music about a year and a half ago.
Mm,
A
yeah.
year a year and a half ago, you
Yeah.
couldn't talk me into going back into music because I was
Yeah.
so jaded by it.
Yeah.
So I just got here 2 seconds ago, literally, and I'm trying to, get all my ducks in a row. But yes, I want to get
Yeah.
out there. I want to meet people. I want to see people. I want to do
Mm,
collaborations.
yeah.
I want to see where this thing goes.
Yeah, well, like I said, Miss Freeman, you are fucking fire. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Like, don't please, even if it's just something that you just do, even if it's not for the, and I think that's what a lot of people do. They get caught in that crossfire of wanting to do it for money and forget why they're doing it in the first place. Even me, I'm guilty of it. Like, sometimes I'm like, damn, I could make some money doing this, so I could, you know what I'm saying? But I
Mhm.
remember, like, I could wake up and I know where I came from. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
what motivates me. And don't ever
Absolutely.
forget. Don't ever feel like that little girl in the church. Don't ever lose that. You know what I'm saying? Like you are fire. Like trust me. And
Thank you.
I'm not just capping. Like you really dope. And
Thank you. I
with
appreciate it.
that being said, you have so much knowledge. You have so much insight. You know, I'm at the first question I'm gonna ask is this, right? Would you want to
Mhm.
start your own label one day?
Oh yeah, I mean that's
Mm,
that's that's an artist's dream to be able to
yeah.
start your own. I would like to do that, and I would
Mm,
like to give other people opportunities and
yeah.
to help them so that they understand the pitfalls that you can fall
Mm,
into. Just they need someone to help nurture them
mm,
because an artist, when you're just starting out, sometimes you can be a little green. I know me and my dad were we were fresh off the farm, literally,
yeah.
and so people run games on you, things of
Mm,
that nature, and then also to just help build them up too so
mm,
that they believe in themselves because this business is designed to tear you down.
sure
It's
is.
designed to tell you no, 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 you're not good enough, you this, you
Mm,
that, I mean, my goodness. And so that can cause problems in a person's psyche. You could get
mm,
depressed about it. I mean, it definitely affected me to be told,
mm,
like we talked about it earlier, to be told
mm,
this I can't be here because of something I can't change. Like that's hard for people to understand. So
mm,
yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to give back in that way if God willing, if he ever puts me on
mm.
a platform where I can do that, I would absolutely do it.
For sure. And Miss Adriana, the last question I ask this to everybody, right? Now
Yes,
you're a black country music artist. You
I am.
stand out like a sore thumb. You are talented. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, right? What advice would you give to anybody trying to get into not only the country music business, but the music business itself? What advice would you give them, get anybody getting into the music business today?
Yep. I call it the power of the three P's. And
Okay.
these are principles that I set for myself and
Yes.
that have served me well. So the first thing that an artist needs to have is you have to be able to perform. So performance is key. If they ask you to sing on spot, you better be ready to do that. You better know how to write, you better know how to play something, and you better know how to perform. So performance is key. The second thing, be persistent. Persistence is everything. If they tell you no, come back tomorrow. They keep coming back, keep showing up, keep doing what you need to do. Be persistent. And the last thing is patience. And so that's the hardest one for us artists because you're right. A lot of us get into this. We want it right then. We want to be big stars and stuff, and we don't realize that this is a marathon, man. This ain't no
Hmm.
quick fast rate. Like you got to. There's a milestone steps you got to go to. So as long as you perform your butt off, you are persistent in everything you do, and you have the patience, you will stand the test of time and eventually things will start happening for you. So that's the best advice I can give. It's the power of the three P's. That's what I
Yeah.
call it.
Listen. Blessings to you, Queen. We are out of here.
Mhm.
Once again, thank you so much. This was a great interview. I enjoyed this. I actually want to do a part two after the album
Mhm.
comes out. So we're gonna do a part two after the album comes
All
out.
right.
So I'm holding you to that. And with
Okay.
that being said, Miss Adrianna Freeman, where can our people find you? Plug your social media, your websites, your YouTube, your TikTok, everything.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. So you can find me on my website as adriannafreeman.com. You can find me on TikTok, Adrianna Freeman Music. You can find me on Instagram, and that's official.adrianna.freeman. If it ain't all of that, that ain't me. I don't know who that is. And then, of course, you can always just, on YouTube, you can find my music. Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify, you know the places. We're
Yeah.
we're we're there.
You know this, man. The new single, "The Price," out now. That video is fire. It's cinematic as hell. It looks crazy. It looks like a horror movie. It looks like a slasher movie. It's fire. Go. I just took a look at it on YouTube. You know this, man. "The Price," the single, out now, streaming right here on WDJC DB DJ Chase Radio. Once again, it's DJ Chase, the Pregame Party Mix podcast, right here on WDJC DB DJ Chase Radio. Black owned DJChaseRadio.com, DJChase.net. Get that merch. Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube DJ Chase TV. And I'm out of here. Yeah.